that's how it be though. Nothing but great effort just to get a C though. Eyes watching but we never seem to be though.
So, for all the fairy tale fans that for the longest time wanted to see a certain blue cat bite the big one, he kind of did in this series. I ain't gonna lie, Eden Zero Chapter 2, surprising again. And like I said, I'm gonna tell it like it is. The main reason why I'm doing this is a lot of you guys said keep going for now. The second there's BS, if you want, pull out, but we want to see this. So I'm still riding on this one right now. So with Chapter 2, we got a little bit more exploring into the world. Really cool cover with that mysterious looking character. I love the design of that blue looking goddess looking creature or whatever. Definitely building up the mystery. This chapter built up a lot of mystery. And to be honest with you, I remember the beginnings of Fairy Tail, and while there was a couple of build-ups or whatever, I think the very first chapter had like a few build-ups of some end game type of stuff. I believe it was already referencing like Zeref and stuff like that. It didn't have what this series has so far, because honestly, this chapter felt very, very dark for a Hiro Mashima story. Now, to my knowledge, I believe Raymaster had some type of dark stuff in it as well, so maybe he's going back to his roots of doing some dark things, because, yeah, for Fairy Tail fans, and I don't know, but this chapter definitely makes me feel like it's connected to Fairy Tail Eden Zero, but Fairy Tail fans, or people, because I don't even know if all Fairy Tail fans felt this way, but for anybody that were curious about Happy, and if anything would ever happen to him, yeah, in Eden Zero, he died. Well, somewhat. So, this chapter of Eden's Zero, Chapter 2, we got a little bit more of exploring, and it seems as though in manga now, they're definitely trying to get with the times of like how everybody's trying to go viral on the internet and get views and posting on websites, because Rebecca is all about that. They're going on this journey and they go to a new planet because she wants to get views essentially, and she really wants to post and stuff like that, and get, you know, videos and whatever. And I was just like, okay, mangaka are getting with the times, because I forget which series recently had something like that in it as well, but I've been seeing different instances of them doing things like that. And Rebecca, her whole thing is, you know, she makes videos, and it's kind of cool or whatever. It's definitely more futuristic. You see like these cubes and all sorts of stuff. I was like, yeah, very sci-fi. So this series, it feels as though, for right now at the very least, it's a slightly darker, sci-fi, futuristic type of fairy tale. I'll say one of the things that is still annoying me, it annoyed me with Chapter 1 and it annoyed me with Chapter 2, is the friendship stuff. Hiro Mashima definitely is not letting go of the friendship, and I'm already accepting it 2 chapters in that friendship is going to be another big factor. I'm just hoping when it comes time to throw down with somebody that he doesn't pull the BS he pulled with Fairy Tail of like, beating God because my friends, because at that point it's like, yo, stop it. But right now we just got a lot of talks about friendship, because we arrive at this planet, and as some of you may know if you read Chapter 1, Shiki, the main character, aka Graysu, he is like fascinated by seeing all of these humans, because when he was on his home planet it was mainly robots, and Rebecca was pretty much the first human he's seen. Definitely Shiki gives me a lot of vibes, and I think Hiro is probably inspired by early Dragon Ball, the very beginnings of Dragon Ball, not Z, Dragon Ball when Goku was little, because obviously Goku was secluded, he never got to see people, so when he first saw Bulma, it was like, whoa, and it definitely, if you look at it, it does give me those vibes. Now, obviously, Happy is kind of like changing it up so it's not just this boy and girl, but the beginning of Dragon Ball, Bulma finds Goku in a forest, and they go on an adventure. The beginning of Eden Zero, Rebecca finds Shiki on this robot planet, and they're going on an adventure, and he's never seen humans, so he immediately goes to this planet, and he's like, oh my god, can I touch these humans? I want to be all of their friends and stuff like that. We got a little bit of character development for Shiki immediately in this one, because he doesn't understand that, you know, there's good people and there's bad people, and Rebecca lays that down, like, yo, just because they're all there, one, doesn't mean that they all care about you. In fact, people really don't care about each other. A little dark there, but also, there's good people and bad people, and Shiki learned that throughout this chapter when Happy was abducted. And to be honest with you, it's really, really weird to say, but Happy, the backstory, Rebecca's backstory with Happy, all of that stuff was the best parts of this chapter. It really drove this chapter, and it made it a lot darker, and it also makes me question again if there is any connection to Fairy Tail, if this is like the future of Fairy Tail, because at this point I want to say that if this is connected at all to Fairy Tail, it has to be in a future distant timeline or future distance of, you know, the Fairy Tail world, because we find out in this chapter that Happy is a robot, actually. Turns into some guns that Rebecca was using and stuff like that, and you're kind of like, oh, and we know Happy obviously wasn't a robot to our knowledge, unless by the end of the series Happy gets wished back to being a normal freaking cat or something like that. But it could very well be that Eden Zero is essentially sequel, but a futuristic sequel to Fairy Tail, and Hero's kind of keeping it hush-hush right now because of whatever reasons, because we find out that Happy was seemingly thrown away, abandoned, and that's how Rebecca found him. And Rebecca was an orphan herself, so they had that bond of like, yo, the world abandoned us, we have each other at the very least. So if this is the future of Fairy Tail, then it got to make me question, like, so what happened? Now, obviously, Happy didn't actually know, well, you know, what happened to him, why he was abandoned. He's just kind of seemingly scattered-brained when Rebecca finds him. But again, he's like, yeah, I was abandoned, yeah, I'm alone. And if that's the case, it could very well be that Natsu got really old, everybody was dying, and he decided, yo, Happy, you're still gonna have a long life, so keep going. Or this could very well be Happy's child in the future or something like that. But the dark part where I was like, damn, Hero, okay, you want to get a little dark on us, is that there was a tragedy that happened, and Happy was in a car accident that killed him. Happy died in this, and he was essentially brought back mind-wise into the body of a robot that felt really eerie and sad and just all around dark. Like, Happy and Rebecca's backstory in this one, very dark, and I like that. Definitely a very different vibe than the happy-go-lucky everything of Fairy Tail. No, I'm lying. There was some few different dark things here and there in Fairy Tail, but nothing like this, especially very early on. We're 2 chapters in, and one of the 3 mains, Happy, has already died at some given point, was an orphan, thrown away, so to speak, and Rebecca was an orphan. So getting all of that backstory, characterization, and all that was really good. It was honestly very enjoyable. And again, it's like, man, if Hero didn't have this track record of what he did with Fairy Tail, I would honestly be more optimistic and say, yo, this is really, really good so far. But I gotta be with my guard up, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like coming out of a bad relationship and trying out with a girl that seems awfully similar to your ex. You gotta be like, yo, shield up, baby, okay? I don't know, no, the love you stuff, I don't know, I can't love you right now, girl, I just got my heart broken. That type of deal with Eden Zero, because it's like, this is interesting, it's good, I ain't gonna lie, it's good so far. But Hero, and on top of that, there's still remnants of Fairy Tail that is lingering all throughout Eden Zero. Again, the friendship stuff is like, bro, oh. And then, of course, with Happy being kidnapped and Shiki saying, well, I don't know about good and bad, but I can tell that this guy is bad. He stole our friend, so he hunts him down and shows a little bit of Shiki is capable and that he's kind of a rarity because of his little power thingy-majig that he uses, which I know I'm terrible. I'll start getting the names down packed or whatever as we go along, but we see as though, like, okay, if he was killed, it would be a big deal because that dude pulls out the shotty or the automatic or whatever. I'm like, okay then, again, a little bit more darker, and I like that because Fairy Tail was such a bright and happy series majority of the time, no pun intended, that it was like, oh god. But with this one, again, we're 2 chapters in, and the first chapter, the dude has to experience all of his friends betraying him, and then they all die at the end. Second chapter, one of the 3 main characters, we find out, already died in a horrible accident and is actually just a robot. And again, if this is the same Happy from Fairy Tail, that is such a tragic, dark future for that character. If eventually Natsu and them, either something happens and Happy has to go away, or they all die and he's like, well, Happy's still going to be around for a while, maybe the Exceeds live for a long time, something along the lines of that, that'll be even more tragic, because it's like, yo, Fairy Tail was such a happy-go-lucky series, and to see this character end up dying in a futuristic world from an accident, that's kind of, unless of course that's like Happy's child, or again, they're just not connected at all. It could just be like, hey, we're identical, and he'll, because eventually I almost guarantee Hiro Mashima will do a Fairy Tail crossover with this series. He's probably just going to wait a long time so that it has its own identity. But the own identity thing, the end of this chapter, I'm like, woo, once upon a time I loved you, girl. And I'm talking about the ending revealing this new character that is aware, which that means that there's possibly other people as well hunting him down, that Shiki is from the Demon King, either his son or his grandson, one or the other. And this girl, Elsie Crimson, Erza Scarlet, my god, hero, you couldn't even change it up that much. Like, identical character design, and we said it on the original art that we seen. But aside from, like, it looks like she has an eye patch over one eye, that is Erza, okay, bro? Like, could you at least change it up a little bit more? I don't give a shit. Put her a helmet or something like that. Just looks straight up like Erza, okay? Like a dark Erza. Like Erza just in the future says, screw it. I mean, this could very well be like what happened with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I believe it was after part 6. He started doing a parallel version. Maybe this is like an alternate universe type of series of Fairy Tail with Eden Zero. That's possible as well. But we have that character is hunting him down and going to the planet where he's at to do we don't know what. It seems as though possibly not anything good, but if the way we know Hero structures things, more than likely whatever goal this character has, either she's going to be a big villain in it, or more than likely become a comrade at some given point, and we'll have Fairy Tail all over again, which, ooh, I don't, Erza, you left a bad taste in my mouth, especially how much I loved that character at first and what it turned into. Ugh. So with that being said, chapter, again, a pretty solid chapter. Very, very dark stuff for a Hiro Mashima series. I liked a lot of bits, but the friendship stuff, stop it, bro. Come on, man. Stop pushing that so much on us. We had enough, all right? And LC Crimson looking identical to Erza. He definitely just recycled a lot of character designs. And again, I know that was the same case from Raid Master to Fairy Tail, but I'm hoping that over the course of very quickly some time, he starts switching it up, because I was just like, oh, so Erza's here. Oh, we like, it's bad enough we already have a blue cat named Happy. And then you got like, so yeah, some potential, some promise. I just hope that Hiro Mashima doesn't wreck it again. Kind of curious what you guys think for starters. Do you want me to keep talking about it? I talked about chapter 2, but I don't know if you guys are going to be interested in me continuing on, because there was some fragments of like, yo, I gotta have my guard up, baby. Hero, don't trick me again. Don't do this to me. Your overall thoughts of it, what did you think? Do you think possibly that this is actually a future world of the Fairy Tail universe, and that's why we have dragons in the sky and, you know, in space and stuff like that? This is just the future, and whatever happened, either this is Happy's child, or this is Happy, and maybe all the Fairy Tail characters got old and died, and he was left alone, and eventually he ended up dying in this world and, you know, turning into a robot. That honestly, that was dark. I messed with that. I was like, yo, that's not that bad. I ain't gonna lie. And your overall thoughts of Eden Zero as it stands right now with 2 chapters, I ain't gonna lie. I am really, really like, this could be good. This can be really good, Hero. Please, tone down the friendship. Don't do the same stuff that you do with the friendship of making Shiki become, you know, Jesus with, you know, friendship. And the character designs, bro, start switching up a little bit more. It's getting a little bit too whoa. Your overall thoughts. But that is all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, stalk my Facebook, follow me on Twitch, and make sure to hit the bell to get all notifications, because YouTube be wildin'. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day.
We making major moves, laugh and let the haters lose. We don't give a fuck, virginity intact, clean stack. Paper rules, if you heard it, best believe